Stop scrolling right now because what I'm about to tell you could change everything about your life as a green card holder in America. If you're a permanent resident watching this video in 2026, I need you to understand something critical. Your rights, your freedoms, the very things you worked so hard to achieve when you got that green card, they're being stripped away one by one. And most people have no idea it's even happening. In the next few minutes, I'm going to expose 6 devastating changes that are hitting green card holders right now, today as we speak. Changes that affect your ability to grow a business, to travel freely, to support your family, and even to stay in this country. If you don't know about these changes, you could lose everything you've built. So stay with me until the very end, because I'm not just going to tell you what's being taken away. I'm going to show you exactly how to protect yourself and fight back. I'm Edward, and this is US Green Card Signal. Hello everyone, and welcome back to US Green Card Signal. I'm here to give you the information that other channels won't tell you, the real truth about what's happening to immigrants in America right now. Before we dive deep into these shocking changes, I need you to do something important. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because immigration rules are changing so fast that missing one update could literally destroy your American dream. And if this video helps you, give it a thumbs up so YouTube shows it to more people who desperately need this information. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll understand why every single green card holder needs to see this. Now let me tell you what's really going on. Imagine this. You came to America legally. You followed every rule. You waited years for your green card. You built a life here. You started a business, hired employees, contributed to the economy, and then one day, everything changes. The rules you played by suddenly don't matter anymore. That's exactly what's happening right now to hundreds of thousands of green card holders across America. And the first attack is aimed directly at small business owners. Starting March 1st, just days away as I'm recording this, if you're a green card holder who owns a business, you can no longer get loans from the Small Business Administration. Think about that for a second. The SBA, which exists to help small businesses grow and succeed, is now completely closed to green card holders. The new rule says that businesses must be 100% owned by U.S. citizens to qualify for these loans. Not 90%, not 50%, 100%. Even if you own just a tiny fraction of a business as a green card holder, even 10 or 5%, the entire business is disqualified. Let me explain why this is absolutely devastating. Small businesses are the backbone of the American economy. They create jobs, they generate tax revenue, they drive innovation. Green card holders start businesses at higher rates than native-born Americans. They're entrepreneurial, they're hardworking, they're creating opportunities not just for themselves, but for American citizens who work for them. And now, with one policy change, the government is telling them, sorry, we don't want your business to grow. We don't want you to hire more people. Here's what makes this even more insane. These are not small loans we're talking about. SBA loans help businesses expand, buy equipment, hire employees, and survive during tough times. Without access to these loans, many green card holder businesses will struggle to compete. Some will fail completely. And when those businesses fail, American citizens lose their jobs. So, what can you do about this? If you're a green card holder with a business and you need an SBA loan, you have until March 1st to apply. That's your deadline. After that, the door closes. Don't wait. Don't think about it. Do it now. Go to the SBA website today, contact a loan officer, get your application in before the cutoff, and if you're past that deadline already by the time you're watching this, you need to explore alternative financing options. Private lenders, investors, credit unions, anything that doesn't discriminate based on immigration status. Now let me tell you about the second devastating change, public charge. Here's what public charge means. The government wants to make sure that immigrants coming to America won't become dependent on public benefits. That sounds reasonable on the surface, right? But here's the problem. The definition of what counts as a public benefit has expanded dramatically. We're talking about Medicaid, SNAP benefits, food stamps, public housing, Section 8 housing assistance. If you used any of these programs while applying for a green card, it could now be held against you. Let me be very clear about something. These are programs that millions of Americans use. They exist because sometimes people need temporary help. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe you had a medical emergency. But now, if you're an immigrant, using them could mean you never get your green card. Or worse, if you already have a green card and you're trying to become a citizen, the government might look back at your history. Think about how cruel this is. Imagine you're a green card holder with young children. You lose your job through no fault of your own. Your kids need to eat. There's a program that can help you, but now you have to choose. Do I feed my children today, or do I protect my chance of becoming a U.S. citizen in the future? That's not a choice anyone should have to make. Now let me tell you about the third devastating change. And this one affects people who are trying to join their families in America. There's a pause on immigrant visas from 75 countries. 75. Let that sink in. If you're from one of these countries and you're trying to come to America as a green card holder, your application is being held indefinitely. Interviews are being canceled. Even people who already passed their interviews are stuck in something called administrative processing, which is basically immigration limbo. Here's what makes this particularly heartbreaking. These are legal applications. These are people who did everything right. They filed the paperwork. They paid the fees. They waited their turn sometimes for years. And now they're being punished simply because of where they were born. Families are being separated. Children are growing up without their parents. But here's something most people don't know. If you're already inside the United States and you're applying for a green card or citizenship, the pause technically shouldn't affect you. The pause is supposed to only apply to people applying from outside the country. But guess what's happening? Some immigration offices are delaying applications for people inside the U.S. just because they're from one of the pause countries. That's illegal. That's not what the policy says. But they're doing it anyway. So what do you do if this is happening to you? You fight back. You can file what's called a writ of mandamus lawsuit against USCIS or the State Department. This is a legal tool that forces the government to make a decision on your case. Now, let's talk about something even scarier. The fourth major change is that green card holders are now facing deportation for things that happened decades ago. Let me tell you a real story that happened just 2 weeks ago. A green card holder who had a DUI conviction 27 years ago was traveling back to the United States with his entire family. He's been a lawful permanent resident for decades. He pays his taxes. He's never been in trouble since that one mistake nearly 3 decades ago. But when he arrived at the airport in New York, he was detained. They held him for 12 hours at the port of entry, then transferred him to a detention facility where he spent 2 full days. 27 years ago, 1 DUI, no other arrests, no other convictions, nothing, and they still detained him like he was a dangerous criminal. This is the new reality for green card holders. Things you did 10, 15, 20 years ago are now being used against you. Minor offenses that you thought were behind you are suddenly grounds for detention. So here's my advice. If you have any criminal history, even something minor from years ago, before you travel internationally, consult with an immigration attorney. Get your records. Understand what's on your background check. Know what you might face at the border, and if there's anything that could be expunged or sealed, do it now. The fifth change is increased scrutiny on re-entry for green card holders who travel abroad. Even if you have a re-entry permit, immigration officers are now questioning people extensively about where they actually live. They're looking at how many days you spent outside the U.S. They're asking for proof that you still maintain a residence in America. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. Immigration now has sophisticated computer systems that track exactly when you leave and enter the United States. Every time you scan your passport, it's recorded. They know if you've been gone for 50 days or 75 days or 6 months, and they're using this data to catch people in inconsistencies. So here's what you absolutely must do if you travel internationally as a green card holder. First, keep detailed records of your travel. Note every departure date and return date. Second, always travel with evidence that you maintain a home in the United States. Bring copies of your lease or mortgage, utility bills in your name, tax returns, bank statements. Third, if you plan to be abroad for more than 6 months, apply for a re-entry permit before you leave. And fourth, be absolutely honest with immigration officers. Now here's the sixth and perhaps most revealing change. There's a massive push by the government to get green card holders to become citizens. The citizenship processing time is still relatively fast, about 6 months on average. And on the surface, this sounds great. What's wrong with that? Here's the problem. When you apply for citizenship, they now go back and scrutinize your entire green card history in a way they didn't before. If you got your green card through marriage and you're now divorced, they're going to question whether your marriage was legitimate in the first place. They're essentially re-adjudicating your green card application during your citizenship interview. And if they find anything questionable, they can not only deny your citizenship application, they can actually revoke your green card. So, what should you do before you apply for citizenship? Review your entire immigration history with a qualified attorney. Make sure everything is clean. Let me be very clear about something. The government is now openly saying that a green card is a privilege, not a right. They're saying it can be taken away at any time. This is the new reality. So, what does all of this mean for you? It means that being a green card holder in 2026 is harder and more dangerous than it's been in decades. Here's what I want you to do right now. First, if any of these 6 issues affect you personally, take immediate action. Don't wait. Second, stay informed. Immigration policy is changing faster than ever. Subscribe to U.S. Green Card Signal so you never miss critical information. Third, share this information. You probably know other green card holders who have no idea these changes are happening. Send them this video. Look, I know this video was heavy. I know it's scary to hear all the ways things are getting worse for green card holders. But here's the truth. You're still here. You're still fighting. Knowledge is power. Preparation is protection. And together, we're going to navigate these challenges and come out stronger. If this video helped you, hit that like button right now. Subscribe to U.S. Green Card Signal if you haven't already, and turn on all notifications. Thank you so much for watching. Stay strong, stay informed, and remember that your dreams are worth fighting for. I'm Edward, and I'll see you in the next video.